Hayne is on camera now. He's an interesting character in this event. He's refereed 5 Manly games, 5 Parramatta games this year. The Eagles have won all of their matches under him. The Eels have lost all of theirs. Ironically, the Eels, even though they lost those 5 games, they did win the penalty count. So it's Parramatta running from right to left to open Friday night football for VB and you people watching through Channel 9. And that's Brent Kite, who's tackled just inside the 20-metre line. Met by the Parramatta 19, Tony Williams, who'll come here with this fellow, the Wolfman, David Williams, next year. And he will play the ball just outside the 20-metre line. This is Cuthbertson, headgear, 16, locking the scrum. Menzies on the bench for game 339. He needs to play 12 games before his departure to Bradford to eclipse the record held by Terry Baba Lamb. Here is Watmo now, taking play just over Parramatta side of halfway. Menzies back on the bench there with Lestrange, King and Hall as the kick goes up at the end of the first set. And Jarryd Hayne was tentative, and now they drive him down.
And straight away they're going to test Hayne out. I love Hayne at fullback. I think it's a great move by Hagen. He can revitalise this Parramatta team in his own form as well. Hasn't been in good touch, but a key man in this contest. A wobbly first touch, but he got the job done.
And here's Inu down the left side. David Williams pursues and makes the catch. Beautiful promotion across quickly to the left for Inu to play the ball, but there's a penalty to Parramatta. Just talking of Hayne, he refereed the round 6 match between these two arch rivals. Watch this. Short side play. They outnumbered them quickly and easily. And then it was a foot race, and Inu was run down by David Williams. Penalties went 7-1 to Parramatta up at Parramatta Stadium in round 6 under Hayne. And Manly still beat them. So Parramatta with a wonderful opportunity early in the game. Here's Hindmarsh taking it up, and he will play the ball 9 metres away from the Manly line. Tackled and put away by Jamie Ryan and Glenn Stewart. It's Matthew Keating in 14 who has started the game. Daniel Wagon taking the pass away from Brett Finch, and then he will play the ball under the tackle of Josh Perry for Keating to go again to the right for Finch, and then to Riddell, who's working as a running forward in the opening part of the game. They're 9 metres out from the line. Manly back on the try line, and Parramatta with this set and a good chance to open the scoring with Finch to play the ball now in the centre of the ground, held down by Glenn Stewart. So now they'll try and work to get it back. Riddell is with it. He floats the pass out. Inu is with the ball now, and down he goes. Inu tackled, and that's 5. So Finch will be looking for it. Wagon will give him a decoy, give him some cover, and then Finch goes off the outside edge. They fly for it. The bat down wasn't good for Parramatta. It was for Manly, and Robertson is tackled 18 metres out from his own line. This is Matai. Strong out to the 30-metre line. Matthew Johns, Phil Gould in the box with me tonight, and Laurie Daly has got the gold medal job on the side. The 11 for me is Anthony Watson. Played the ball. Brent Kite. Strong again. Up they go to halfway. And will they put Hayne under pressure again at the end of this set? Cuthbertson then. A run to the line, passing in front of the line. Then Glenn Stewart, a fend on a couple. He beat them both, really. He'll play the ball on the red line, 40 metres away from the Parramatta line. The captain Lyon puts a kick high into the air. It's a test on the far side. I think he might have been out. Yeah, the touch judge has got the flag in the air. Michael Robertson was out. And it'll be turnover time for Parramatta.
Speaking of Parramatta, a little bit of subterfuge out here. I can tell you that number 14, Matthew Keating, has run out onto the field even though he was named on the bench. Now the other Keating, Christopher, looks as though he's playing a dummy half. And Mark Riddell lined up at 5'8" throughout their opening set of 6. So even though they named Matthew Keating on the bench, the 14 for Parramatta is out there. And who's that sitting on the bench? That's Chris Keating. Well, who's playing dummy half? Well, there's Matthew Keating on the dummy half.
That is Matthew Keating playing dummy half. I just said that a minute ago. Riddell is playing as a running forward, and Chris Keating has started from the bench. So it's with Moi Moi.
Well, Riddell's at 5'8".
Well, that shouldn't worry him too much. He loves to get out there and do the flashy stuff. And here's a ball from Finch. Bouncing badly for Parramatta, but picked up by Williams for Manly. And Hindmarsh and Inu make the tackle. Bell got the ball away. Stewart takes it ahead. The full-back. And he will play the ball 12 metres into Parramatta's area. Played away for Ballon, who's been good this year. Now it's come away to Perry, and Perry is met by an enthusiastic Parramatta defence, something they have to keep up right through the game. They can't play it for 40 minutes, and here's Ballon with a run out of dummy half, running at Finch, trying to bring a penalty, but they play the ball 20 metres away now, and here's Robson going across to the left, and then Watmo, the ball went to ground. Was it knocked down by Parramatta? It's 5 tackles gone against Manly, calls the referee. No nullification of the tackle count. It's come away for Lyon. He stabs a little kick in. Ah, great take. Great take, Nathan Hindmarsh. Big men second rowers aren't supposed to do that, but that was so neat and tidy from Hindmarsh. So Parramatta back to the 20-metre line. No score after 5 3/4 minutes. This is Hayne out to the 30-metre line. 30 players down through the years have played for both these clubs at some stage of their careers.
Right, Piggy Riddell playing at 5'8". I see he's got the ears taped back. Come on, Piggy, get that tape off. You don't need that at 5'8".
Now Daniel Wagon running off a Riddell pass, and Wagon driven down by the tackle of Ballon. Riddell not working as running forward, as I said, but in fact as a 5'8", linking the forwards and the backs. His ball bouncing around for David Williams, and Williams is tackled, and a penalty has gone against Parramatta for being in front of the kicker and in front of the 10.
Taking some risks here, Parramatta, but this is exactly what young Robson will be after. Set pieces. When you come into a side as a halfback and not really in the side, real offside there, this is the sort of stuff you like. You'll see Manly come off one of these little choreographed set pieces here. This is what Robson will need just to settle him down into this contest.
So Manly taking the free kick on the halfway line, and Kite it is taken down by a 3-man Parramatta tackle. Matthew Keating, Nathan Hindmarsh and Foo-Foo Moi Moi. And now it's with Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson held up and put down on his back. Again, 3 of the Parramatta forwards doing the job. Chad Robinson, Nathan Kalis and Matthew Keating. Ballon goes away. Robson second mans it. It goes to Brett Stewart. Matai was running free, but he's tackled on the 20-metre line, Parramatta's end. Eastern side of the ground in front of a big, big crowd here at Brookvale tonight. On a very cold night, Cuthbertson out the back, Lyon away, Glenn Stewart in support. 12 metres out from the line now, and about 18 metres in from the western touchline. To the centre of the ground through Jamie Lyon, has gone on to Robson. He puts a kick in that was innocuous. It came down for Jarryd Hayne, and Hayne will play the ball 15 metres out from his line.
Yeah, that was a touch of inexperience. The outside players actually called for Jamie Lyon to put the kick in. He threw the pass, so then Robson thought, well, I'll go ahead and kick it, and he wasn't in position to do so.
Played there by Tortai, and here's Kalis shouldering his way out towards the 30-metre line. Yes, if Penrith are able to win over this weekend, there's a very good chance there'll be a buffer between Team 8 and Team 9 of 3 points. A very good hope of that being the case. So then you would have a good buffer between 4 and 5, and equally between 8 and 9. That really is the importance of this round this weekend. Glenn Munsey from Tab Sportsbet tells me that this is the biggest Friday night business he's done on the Manly Parramatta game, and they all wanted to back Parramatta. Here's David Williams going back, scything his way through. He said they all wanted to back Parramatta, but then when Orford pulled out, the money came for Manly. He just couldn't quite work all that out. Manly then with the ball, centre of the ground, and played by Robertson. Matai a run, goes out towards Hindmarsh, and Hindmarsh puts him down 40 metres out from the Parramatta line.
Well, that's simple mathematics, Ray. You can back them both to win.
Now, here's Cuthbertson. We're not all punting geniuses like you. Now it's Robson who comes away to the right side for Perry to run into the shoulder of Robinson, and Hindmarsh goes in over the top. How many has he made so far, Nathan? 7? So it's with Manly, and they come towards the 20-metre line with Watmo stepping out of the tackle, and then he's again taken by Hindmarsh together with the help of Moi Moi. From Ballon, it's gone away to Jeff Robson. It's a lovely kick. David Williams has got the jumper. Tony Williams beats him to it. Marks it in goal, and it's a 20-metre restart.
Yeah, the big T-Rex, Tony Williams, flew higher, joining Manly next season. They'll love him here. He's a big man. But last week we saw the benefit of the Gold Coast taking risks against the Roosters to win the game. I think Manly tonight will want to graft this one out. They would love Parramatta to come out here and just take them on an arm wrestle. If I'm Parramatta, you've got to take a few chances. Be disciplined in defence, but just got to take a few risks. Bit of flamboyance in attack.
This is Wagon under the tackle of Cuthbertson. Keating on, Hindmarsh with it, and you can see the impact of the collision with Brent Kite. And now to be played by Hindmarsh, playing the ball back to Matthew Keating. 20 in from the western touchline as Kite takes a tumble at front marker. And then a pass from Matthew Keating. It's a penalty going to Parramatta. It's got them for being inside the 10. And Parramatta will take the kick for touch to the western side of the ground. It's against that fellow, Brent Kite, who lost his footing and then, well, he lost his marbles completely because he was neither at marker nor back 10. So Shane Hayne put the penalty on him, and Parramatta lead that count under Shane Hayne again, 2-1. 20 metres out now, centre of the ground. Parramatta going down there for another opportunity. Here's Moi, and Moi bustles his way through. Good metres. He's up to the 10-metre line, right in front of the uprights. Down at the northern end, here's Keating, 2 decoys. Finch, the ball bounces for Inu, but they've got a nice ring around him, and Robson leads the defence, and Inu to play the ball for Keating. Hayne standing up as a decoy is going down the ground with Kalis on the inside of Kalis, but Kalis has the ball wedged against him.
Yeah, the space is outside Matai. If they can get it there quickly.
It's gone that way. It's Finch. It's gone away to Riddell. Riddell will score. He came out and he went in off his right foot. Matthew Johns read it perfectly, and Riddell was reading the same paper, and he has spliced through at 45 degrees, and Piggy Riddell has scored.
Watch Steve Matai come racing up to try and close the play down. Lovely cutout pass from Brett Finch. Riddell hits it at pace, slices through. Matai, not an easy man to beat, and Parramatta open the scoring here at Brookvale.
Well, they'll be proud of you in England, Matthew, where you've got so many friends, and you're going through, of course, to Satanta, and here you are now, first guessing and reading tries before they happen. Brilliant piece of commentary, don't you think, Phil?
Well, I said outside, now she went inside, but I'll take the whack.
Fair enough. Modesty exuding from the man. Well, there he is, the stand-in the run-on side for Feliti Mateo. Mark Riddell. They started with Matthew Keating at acting half, Riddell at 5/8. Chris Keating's back at the bench. And here's Inu from right in front to convert the try scored by Riddell at the 12th minute of the game. Inu from right in front, no mistakes, the ball sailing down towards the scoreboard end. Laurie Daly on the sideline.
He's not your classic 5'8" Piggy Riddell, but he's certainly got the ability to get the job done. He's a strong runner, and expect plenty more of this on the edge off Brett Finch tonight. Just a lovely hole run there by Mark Riddell. He's got strength and power and gets the first 4-pointer of the night.
He's got a good kicking game to go with the job at number 6. Riddell scoring at the 12th minute, converted by Inu. It is 6-0 in VB Friday Night Football in favour of the visiting team. Here's Tortai with the ball.
He's dead.
And he's come up without the football. So here's a chance for Manly. Here's a wonderful chance for Manly. Matt Orford repeating, pulled out of the side, or taken out of the side. It was announced on Channel 9's news tonight. Orford watching the game as a spectator.
And the hard thing there for Manly is that with Orford in the side, they never have to worry about who's at first receiver. This evening, they're going to have to make a concentrated effort. And as the game wears on and the results in the balance, will they trust young Robson, the 5'8", to do the job, or will Lyon overcall?
Here's Steve Bell running very close to Jamie Lyon on the right side. A chance for Manly as Glenn Stewart tries to reel out of a tackle. 2 metres away. Time for Parramatta to muscle up as they're tested. Ballon goes on. Robson a dummy, and then he tries to get outside Chad Robinson. Robinson, having no part of it, puts him away. They go to the blind side for Ballon to Jamie Lyon. Shot for Watmo to go over and put the ball down, but it's gone forward.
Wow. There wasn't much in that. They should have scored on the previous play. They should have scored on the previous play. Young Robson didn't let the ball go. Had he done so, they'd have had a 4-on-2. And then they went there. Watch this. See, Robson's got plenty of support. Look at the numbers out wide. They would have had Jamie Lyon blew up. And from the ensuing play, the ball goes to Lyon, who looks for a short pass. Well, there is nothing wrong with that. That ball's gone half a metre backwards.
They tried disallowed to Manly, to Anthony Watmo. And here's Nathan Hindmarsh hitting it up through the middle, running at Jamie Lyon, and Lyon has gone down clutching at his knee. 25 metres out now from the Parramatta line. Played there by Keating. It's come away to Riddell.
And a real concern for Jamie Lyon in back play. He's hobbling at the moment. Would that be a blow? Lose Orford, then Lyon.
Now Moy trying to free himself from the persistent tackle of Manly, put on by Perry and Watmo, and here's Keating working a play around the man who played the ball, and it was for Jarryd Hayne up the middle, and there's Jamie Lyon in trouble as it goes away to Brett Finch.
Now he's signalling at the sideline. I think he'll come off here, Jamie Lyon.
Brett Stewart runs it beyond the 30-metre line, picked up and driven back by Parramatta. So Stewart playing the ball, and Parramatta's got an injury problem now with Riddell.
Look how bunched this Manly side are behind the play the ball. There is no... Look at this. You can throw a handkerchief over them. No direction there at the moment. Orford gone. Lyon hobbling towards the sideline. They're in all sorts.
And Jamie Lyon was heading towards the sideline. Now he's moving back towards the ruck area. As it's played over there, Ballon tries to generate something. Watmo responds with a good run. And he plays it, or tries to play it, doesn't get a penalty. It's come to Robson. Here's the kick again. He's an accurate kicker. Up goes Bell, down comes the football. Dropped by Manly with a chance. A line that was wide open. And it's turnover time for Parramatta. So Robson, we know one thing, he's got a very accurate boot on him.
He's a steady player. He's played plenty of lower grade football. He's 25 years of age. He's now a kid. I can't get over that no try. I mean, play went on, so we haven't talked about it, but Lyon to Watmo, the ball went backwards.
Well, yeah, look, I think if we had moved the camera down there and got directly opposite, you might have got a different picture.
We've got to get more out of Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson is a half-back trapped in a front rower's body. He's got to be more dominant, take some pressure off young Robson. And here we go, penalty again.
Let's put some pressure on Manly now, because Parramatta will start their new set, I would think, at around about the Manly 40-metre line, with Cuthbertson infringing there. Brett Finch goes for as much as he can. He's got a touch. No, he's ruled into touch, and the tap free will be taken down on the 30-metre line. So it's been a magnificent kick by Finch.
I think you look at the Manly centres here. Bell and Matai, they've got a habit over the last half a year of just creeping inwards. There's opportunity here for the Parramatta centres out wide.
Moy plays the ball now. And here is Kalis taking it ahead, running it at Kite and Ballon. And Kalis towards the centre of the ground is 11 metres out from the line. Played for Matthew Keating. He got a decoy from Wagon. Finch got the ball away. Chad Robinson's with the ball, trying to free the ball, but he will play it under the tackle of Cuthbertson and Robson. Now Keating shows it inside, goes outside himself, throwing dummies, and Matthew Keating will play the ball. 2 metres out from the line, right in front of the uprights down the northern end. Here's Hayne, but Matai came up quickly on him and put him away. 5 tackles gone for Parramatta. Finch, the general, he wants the ball. There he is with his right foot, going over towards Tony Williams, but it's far too big. And it will come down for Manly's restart. 10 out and 20 in. Menzies in 13, taking the puck.
Yeah, Finch put his hand up at the air, said, sorry, boys. Let the pressure off from the Manly side now. What can Manly come up with? A bit of a high shot. There'll be a penalty there. More opportunity for Manly.
I watched them warm up the Manly side. Jeff Tuvey, their trainer, had them out there, and he had all the forwards muscled up and roaring at each other. And you just get the impression they were going to come out and explode. Well, they haven't really done that. It's an amazing what happens to a football team when your main 2 shot callers are missing in action. And just at the moment, they're really struggling.
There's Brent Kite with a short ball away for Cuthbertson. And he's dropped it. He's lost the ball cold. I don't think there'll be an inquiry, even though Watmo's patting him on the back and on the head.
Well, this is a big opportunity for Parramatta tonight. They've got Manly off their game. They've got them without their playmakers, and they lead by 6. They need to go on with this.
And Gus, just watching Matai the last couple of sets of 6, if he continues to race in like he is, it's just a matter of time till they get him again. Really reckless, just flying outside in.
Riddell playing it on halfway. Hindmarsh taking it ahead. David Williams came off his wing, went high, wrapped him up, ball and all, put him down. And Hindmarsh still struggling to get up and play the ball. Keating's going to put a ball down the blind side for Inu, and Inu is tackled again by Williams just inside the 20-metre line. Manly's into the park. Keating gets it away. Kalis goes to Finch. Finch goes to Inu. Inu tries to isolate the winger but can't. And it'll be played for Keating to sweep it across to Finch, who puts the kick in. Here comes Chad Robinson. He's got the ball. He may have got it down, Robinson. Shane Haynes standing over it. And he's going to have a look at it. Chad Robinson is the man. The last time we saw the football, he had it. He was dropping to the ground under a maul of Manly players.
And I can tell you that the referee was late on the scene, so if the video referee can't come up with a decision, I'll be surprised if Shane Hayne can. Let's have a look at the onside. Finch, lovely little weighted kick. Short of the opposition winger. Comes down between fullback and winger. Up goes Robinson, gets the grab. He's got it. Down, down, down. He's on his back. We'll need another camera angle. He's now down on his belly. This will tell us. He caught it. Matai swings him over. Brett Stewart. Matai, ball above the ground. And somewhere underneath all that is the answer.
I think you find benefit of the doubt. We'll go with Robinson.
Yeah, I think the ball's on the ground. I think it's a try.
Well, the video referee can't decide that because he didn't see the ball on the ground unless this angle shows us. If the video referee can't find an angle, and you saw Shane Hayne got there very late.
Absolutely.
Now, he's got a better view than anyone as to whether or not it eventually touched the ground. This will have to come back ref's call, and then we'll find out what Jarryd Haynes saw when he stuck his nose in the middle of the ruck.
Well, he saw nothing. The last thing you could see was a football. But here comes the decision from the video referee, who tonight is Chris Ward. And he's gone with ref's call. And Hayne is ordering held up. Des Hasler, a relief coach for the moment.
That's the 5th tackle, so Parramatta have got one more up their sleeve, which you'd imagine is another kick option or a trick shot.
So Robinson to play it for Keating, a dummy to Kalis. He's gone to Finch. Now Riddell, he puts a kick in, came off Menzies, who might get a penalty. Riddell makes the tackle, and the crowd groaned their displeasure because Menzies was held off the football by Riddell. Kite loses the ball. Hayne gives a penalty to Manly.
No, he held it.
It's against Hindmarsh. The kick for touch is a good one. What's the story on Jamie Lyon, Laurie?
Yeah, right knee medial ligament damage, Raz. We don't know the full extent of the injury, and we're not quite sure whether he'll be returning to the football field tonight, but it's highly unlikely.
Jason King, meantime, with the ball. As it goes through to Menzies, and it finishes up with Hall. And Hall will play the ball on the 20-metre line. Under a 3-man Parramatta tackle, the Manly crowd getting involved now. Ballon, Robson, Watmo. Watmo bumps away from Moi. Goes back to Hall, and Hall has another dig at them. 11 away from the line. Played now, and it's Ballon showing it neatly. Stewart, 3 away. Held by Moi and Robinson. Now for Robson. Dummies gives it. King on the charge. Jason is tackled a few metres out from the Parramatta try line. Ballon on 5. Back for Robson. Low, what a catch, Inu. Mark Waugh would have been proud of it.
I think there was opportunity for Robson to run again. Ballon had stripped him short, but he went for the kick. And Inu, the magic take.
Jason King's in trouble now. The big prop forward, they're signalling to the bench for him now. Reddy tries to split them. Goes through and leaves some carnage behind him. Tackled on the 20-metre line. He's been their best centre. He's been playing in a side with the Haynes and Inus, but young Joel's been the best this year anyway. Finch floats it out, taken by Oak, given away to Inu, shows it inside for Williams, gets away from Bell, gets away from Williams, finds Tony Williams, turns it inside and put down by Inu. A pass that was impossible. Stewart's got the ball to fullback.
How good's Inu? Just the Harlem Globetrotters out here in this left-hand side, the acceleration and the little reverse pass, beautiful football.
This is Matai, 6-0. And there goes Jason King. Manly in all sorts of trouble. Their captain, Matt Orford, pulled out before the game. Jamie Lyon is back on the bench. Menzies, can he save them? Described by the second best player ever at Brookvale by the godfather, Ken Arthurson. Now it's away for Robson. Inside ball for Perry. And he'll play the ball 21 away from the Parramatta line. Now from Ballon to Robson. Kicks. Down it comes. Oh, Menzies contested. Penalty Parramatta. Finch has been tackled in mid-air, according to Hayne.
Well, Manly have now lost their third player of the evening. And Menzies, who went up competing for the ball, end up tackling Finch, and that's deemed to be a mid-air tackle. Matt Orford puts his head in his hands. Manly officials said at a pinch he could have played tonight, but they wanted to see how the team went without him, and just in case they had to do so in a big game come September.
Good shot from Hall on Oak. Here's Haraki. 41 metres away from his own line. Parramatta hanging on to a 6-0 lead, and they keep coming left side. Tortai and Reddy will be getting a complex shortly because they just keep coming to Krishnan, Inu and Tony Williams. Keating. Wagon's with it. 5 gone, Parramatta, 35 out from the Manly line. Keating right, Finch, right foot, high, midfield bomb. Brett Stewart under, Menzies goes over. Oh, he's taken the ball off him. It's Tortai who's got the ball. And now it's been knocked down for Matthew Keating. It's been almost lost by Brendan Oak. He's tackled 11 out. Incredible set of circumstances. Finch away. Riddell goes wide. Tony Williams thrust the ball back in field. Went forward. No try, Inu.
That was a wonderful steal there. I think it was by Jarryd Hayne, who's wearing the number 5 jersey. And Brett Stewart had the great presence of mind once he lost it to still come up with the tackle. And this is a lovely ball by Riddell. Gives the big fella a one-on-one opportunity. Gets rid of the first one, but the Beaver Menzies was there. Williams tried to get it back in field. The ball went forward. Watch the Beaver come across in cover defence. 34 years of age.
What about Piggy? Piggy playing a 5'8", doing it well too. He's the fattest 5'8" since Elson Filipana, but he looks good.
There's nothing wrong with being fat.
For a 5'8"?
Well, maybe you make a point. Olsen wasn't fat, it was all muscle. Here's Kite. Playing it back to Matai. And they're just outside the 30-metre line. Physique and age, it seems to hammer away in the brains of you and Gould a lot. Physique and age. Watmo loses it, but it's a penalty against Parramatta.
Well, when I'm sitting next to a physical specimen every Friday night here in the box, it's hard not to be jealous of you, Rabbits.
Well, here's the opportunity for Manly, boys.
Yeah, there's a shot of the emergency ward too before we lose it.
Oh, King, just come back from injury. That's devastating. But if Manly don't get points here, they'll really start to get twitchy.
Ballon away. Here's Perry, who's been in good form. Brent Kite through an opening, a shoulder and then a charge at the line. Kite will play the ball for Ballon. Ballon open side. Robson inside ball. Glenn Stewart is the man tackled. And he plays it to Ballon, who'll go in. Ballon's over to score, I fancy. Shane Hayne will point to the spot. It's a Manly try, scored by Matty Ballon, and within close proximity to the uprights.
That's an important one for the Sea Eagles. It's not pretty. It's just a little barge over from dummy half, but they'll take the points any way they can get them tonight. Matty Ballon, bit of determination, used his head as a weapon, got the ball on the line. Manly ready to level it up here at Brookvale.
Well, there he is, Matt Ballon, who debuted just last year, filling the shoes of Michael Monaghan for you people in England. This is the youngster they groomed to take the place of Michael Monaghan. Comes from Kingaroy, Joe Bioki Peterson country.
$44,000.
The 24-year-old try scorer, Matt Ballon, gets his 6th career try. And he really has blossomed this year. He was getting ready to take the place of Michael Monaghan, and they were going to be big boots to fill. A lot of people thought that Manly chiefly rode on the back of Monaghan through to that grand final, and then many of us doubted they could do it again without Michael, but Ballon has filled his shoes magnificently. And now David Williams, with a full moon above him, will attempt to convert the try scored by Matt Ballon. What's that mean? Wolfman and that's a great move.
I'd love to see you with one of those raps.
Yeah, so here he is, former Parramatta product, David Williams converting. It's a hell of a beard, isn't it?
It's a beauty. It was a great passage of play from Manly. Started with big Brent Kite. Look at this. Wham, bam, thank you, man. Charges. Takes on the fullback, Hayne, who brings him down. Then a neat little play from Robson. Inside ball. Stewart doesn't score, but they get a quick play of the ball. And Matty Ballon, well, a little pushover try. All worth 4 points.
Matty, just looking at Jeff Robinson in the first 30 minutes of this game, that seems to be his most comfortable play, turning the ball inside and a short pass. He doesn't look all that comfortable, or at least he hasn't attempted many long passes on the outside, which is normally Orford's strength, and it's probably why Manly are stagnant a little bit in attack. But you know, he hasn't attempted it yet. Doesn't mean he can't do it.
No, exactly. He loves to show long and pass inside. But look, I think the outside ball, I think Glenn Stewart and Cuthbertson have to stand up. They've got to do more creative stuff.
This is Glenn Hall, tackled by Chad Robinson. Made a couple of charges at the line down the other end of the park. Did Hall, now Perry, and now Matai. So this has been, it's been a good foundation to the set for Manly. Hall, Perry, Matai, who appealed for a penalty. Ballon through from Stewart. It's found his brother, and Glenn to play the ball. 5 metres on Parramatta side of halfway. So Brett Stewart it is, finds himself kicking and bouncing up nicely for Jarryd Hayne, and he takes on Menzies and Ballon, and they put him away.
Just to get on Glenn Stewart, look, he's a tremendous runner of the football. He's showcasing his footwork tonight, but he can do more in attack. I think he's a tremendous ball player. With no Orford and no line, he should play a 6th role.
Keating then, passing for Big Williams, and he's tackled just inside the 30-metre line. Tony Williams. This is Brendan Oak, who played his junior football, I fancy, down at St Gregory's at Campbelltown. Swept away now for Chris Keating, who's into the action. He made his debut this year. In fact, 5 of the Parramatta players on show tonight, they've actually debuted 5, and he's found the line. Oh, gee, I'll tell you what. He took the gamble, and he cut it very fine.
I don't think it was his intention, Rabbits. I think it skewed off the side of the boot a little bit and very nearly went out on the full. It's quite obvious here, Manly, and I think Des Hasler's message at half-time will be, here's the kick by Keating, saying, oh, get down, please. I think he'd be saying to Manly, let's just win this on toughness, fitness, our desire and our commitment, because the evidence shows that Parramatta don't have a lot of that this year. Parramatta, on the other hand, have got to stand up in those departments if they want to beat this Manly side.
We've got to say, guys, the last 10 minutes, some of the energy's gone out of the Eels play. While Manly have really picked up. I think they're starting to find their rhythm a little bit.
They'll be tossing a number of mini footies into the crowd at
Here's Ballon
We'll tell you more then.
using Kite to go over the halfway line to be tackled 7 metres into Parramatta's area. Ballon now running to the line, not looking and passing to Robson, knowing he'd be there. And Brett Stewart is finally tackled by Haraki. Now it's with Robson, turns it in. Watmo puts it down, and Parramatta won't get an advantage from that. A loss of territory, and it will be a scrum right on the 30-metre line.
So there again, Robson floating across the field, turning the ball back on the inside, and no real thought to show and go or look for outside supports. And in the first 30 minutes, that's pretty much been his game. Everything's back on the inside. Parramatta starting to be a wake-up to that. He'll need to come up with more.
Chris Keating's pass wasn't a good one. It was high and floating to Tony Williams, the big fella. Was on the end of a bad pass, and they give him a little bit for his corner in the tackle before Wagon takes the next play to just outside the 30-metre line. Robson's an interesting replacement for Matt Orford. He actually debuted for Manly at Brookie against Cronulla back in 2004 and played 4 first-grade games that year. Hasn't played first grade since, and as Phil told you in the preview, lost all 4 matches. So he's been in the wilderness since 2004. So he obviously loves his game. He's persevered and hung in playing New South Wales Cup, where he's the captain. Now they go short side. Matthew Keating. That bounce has gone over the head of a slipping and sliding Brett Stewart, who comes out from his own line now, and he's tackled inside the 10.
Well, Rabbits, I think from memory, Matt Orford had a number of years in the lower grades before he got his opportunity at North Sydney years ago. I mean, all they need is to get into a good side with a good set of forwards and a little bit of regular time, and suddenly they can blossom.
You're not wrong about that. I think he was something like 4 or 5 years in waiting under Jason Taylor at North Sydney. Matt Orford. Here is Stephen Bell. He's got support. Who do you think it is? It's Menzies. He's run away from Menzies and tripped over. Gets the ball finally to Menzies, and he's tackled 10 metres out from the line. Stephen Bell. You only had to go right, and Menzies scores anyway. Now they go to Cuthbertson, and he's put down on his back. 2 metres out from the line. 5 tackles gone. A try bomb by Manly. The kick is too deep, and Parramatta get off the hook.
Yeah, it wasn't bad defence by Jarryd Hayne, the fullback, though. He certainly covered the option of getting the ball. When Bell goes through, watch the way Jarryd Hayne backs away from him. He won't commit. He runs away. He knows that he can catch Menzies. That forces Bell back in field to the cover defence, and he gets ankle tapped by Jarryd Hayne on the back. He'll just get his hand here, I think, to this back foot. There it is, and that's enough. That's enough. Clicks the ankles together and knocks him down. Great defence by Jarryd Hayne.
So here's Brendan Oak now.
He's tripped over a hurdle. He was under the sticks.
Taken down at the 30-metre line is Brendan Oak. I still wanted to back Menzies. Now it's with Haraki, and played back for Matthew Keating, and Daniel Wagon buckled over from Josh Perry's tackle. And you couldn't blame Perry for being a bit high because Wagon fell into it. Parramatta now with Todd Lowry out there, 5 metres into Manly's area. And it's Matthew Keating to Chris Keating. And he puts it low down towards the 10-metre area where Robertson is back there. David Williams falls back to support, and Williams takes them on, and the Parramatta forwards win that battle. Put him down 12 metres out from the line. Robertson stays around the ruck area to take his run. He's tackled on the 20-metre line. Hindmarsh all over the top of him. And then it's gone from Robson at dummy half that time to Watmo. He ran into Lowry. It was a jolting tackle. And then Hindmarsh came in and clamped it. And it's played by Watmo 30 metres out. Cuthbertson takes it down a short side, out towards the 40. And he's taken again by Joel Reddy down that side with help from Brendan Oak. Now it's with Anthony Watmo, and he's up towards halfway. And held by Haraki and Wagon. Now it's with Ballon, and Ballon, who got the Manly try at the 29th minute, rolls it down into the corner. Jarryd Hayne off his own line and running over towards Tony Williams, but they pick him up and put him down. Glenn Stewart vigorous there with Ballon. Now for Tony Williams, and Tony gets it out to the 10-metre line. Tony Williams, having played the ball, they've gone to Ready. The ball goes out towards Lowry, and Lowry grabbed the ball and then was put into touch by Watmo. Good defence by Watmo.
Well, it's great defence by the whole Manly side. They just hunt you down. Even though they get a little outnumbered here on the outside, they keep coming, and Watmo lines him up and says, bingo. Gotcha. Throws him out over the sideline, and this will be another scrum feed here to the Manly side.
Let's go down to the sideline, Laurie.
Well, the energy's been with all Manly in the last 10 or 15 minutes. It doesn't matter. Would it be a bonus for the Manly supporters of the Manly team if they were able to score with under 2 minutes to go just before half-time and going with a lead at half-time? Just on the weather down here, boys, it's pretty cool. It's good weather for polar bears.
Menzies tackled 10 metres away from the Parramatta line. Half-time nearly upon us. Menzies refusing to go down in the tackle. Now it's Ballon turning it back for Brett Stewart up the middle, and Hindmarsh read that well and made the tackle with Haraki. Ballon on now. Robson short. Cuthbertson is about 15 centimetres out from the line. Again from Ballon. Good passing. Good distribution. Robson takes the tackle. And again they're short. And 4 tackles have gone for Manly. Ballon finds Hall. Hall goes behind Cuthbertson. Glenn Stewart behind Menzies. Brett Stewart holds it back. Bell gives it on. David Williams scores for Manly. David Williams scores in the right-hand corner, right on half-time.
This is class football from a couple of really good outside backs in Brett Stewart and Stephen Bell. The Parramatta defence tries to back away. They don't panic. And as soon as Stewart has them committed, he'll sprint, show, then gives it to Bell and gives Bell enough time to make the pass. What he didn't do was try and put Bell in for the try. He gave Bell time. Watch Stewart here. He will give Bell time to then draw and pass and put the next man in for the try. And that's brilliant fullback play. Well read by the centre as well. And Williams is the beneficiary of some great lead-up work by Brett Stewart and Stephen Bell. Good try to Manly. That was intelligent football. Quite often when there's an opportunity on, you'll see them run a bit too far or try to throw the absolute pass, the cut-out pass to the winger. Stewart read that perfectly. He said, if I can just get them to stand still and then give Bell enough time to make a play, it'll make it for Williams, rather than trying to throw the absolute pass and put Bell or Williams in himself. That's Brett Stewart's try.
So David Williams, who, as I told you earlier, is a Parramatta junior. He played for the Hills Bulls up there at Crestwood. I think their most famous product may be Paul Mares. I could be wrong there too. And they do get a bit tender when you get it wrong. The Hills club, great old club. And Williams, from that club, he swings it away and fails to convert. The try at the 39th minute, his own try. Menzies played a big role in the lead-up work. And at half-time, it's the home side. Manly 10, Parramatta 6, almost identical to the round 6 half-time score. Tony Williams, he waits for the kick-off for Manly to go right to left. Running into the north for the second half, and Finch marks, and Hayne takes the tackle of Menzies, I think it is. And Beaver put him away. Hit him like a blacksmith's anvil falling on you. And look at this. Glenn Stewart was in the tackle, but all of that force, all of that impact was generated by Menzies. And now Hindmarsh is able to stand and offload for Oak to go away. And Perry lazily hangs around his neck, and it's brought a penalty, which seems almost a shame because it certainly wasn't going to hurt anybody. And Josh Perry, as I said, it was a lazy attempted tackle. And Parramatta taking advantage of it nevertheless. And the tap to be taken by Matthew Keating, and Daniel Wagon takes it back towards centre ground to be 22 metres out from the Manly line. Matthew Keating again going in for Haraki to work up the middle, and the markers combine to make the tackle. Cuthbertson and Josh Perry, played by Haraki. Keating goes behind Wagon, goes out to Finch, and then he lets Hindmarsh run a decoy, and here's Big Williams flying in and touching down like a jumbo. And that's probably the most appropriate word to describe him.
Well, he's gone this way a number of times this evening, Brett Finch. There was a little danger here. He ran behind a teammate, but he knew it and threw the pass straight away. Picks up Big Williams. The little Williams had gone in field, and Parramatta score the minute after half-time.
Just another thing that's happened in this game, quite sensationally. You don't see too many tries come that quickly in any half of the game. But Tony Williams has been on the end of a nicely executed play. I just had a question mark on Finch, whether he used a Hindmarsh as an obstruction. And I was surprised that Hayne just pointed to the spot. I thought he may have at least gone for an inquiry upstairs. Well, there's the big fella that scored the try. 4 engines, can carry nearly 500 people, the big jumbo. Tony Williams, and he'll be playing in the maroon and white, as you know, next year. Christman Inu then at 10 points all in Friday night football for Victoria Bidder. 2 tries and 1 goal apiece. Inu from the sideline. He's come back about 27 metres, almost on the chalk. They're not helping the crowd behind him. He hits it. Left the boot okay, but it's wandering. So we stay locked up at 10-10.
And Rabbit's another example here how the Manly outside backs under pressure will come in. Just watch them. They turn their toes. Finch reads it beautifully over the top to the big Tongan T-Rex, who goes over in the corner.
And there's the head-on of the big fella, making a safe landing. So Manly with David Williams kicking off. The Williams brothers, well, not brothers, but these Williams lads both from the Parramatta district, and both will be with Manly as of next year. They are face to face tonight, and the penalty goes to Parramatta back on their 20-metre line. So Finch kicking for touch and finding it 7 metres on his side of halfway. Matthew Keating taking the tap. Brendan Oak taking it ahead. Put down about 5 metres into Manly's area. Tackled by Hall. It's a short side play for Hindmarsh, and he weaves and twists his way as he comes to Glenn Stewart to be tackled on the 30-metre line by Stephen Bell. Keating working from dummy half, and the ball away to Wella Haraki, and he will play the ball just inside 30. Play back towards centre field. They go back to the short side, a fairly wide blind side this time. And Brendan Oak is picked up and spun into the ground by Menzies. Keating across to his brother Chris, and back on the inside for Inu. And Christman will play the ball. Tackle 5 is there for Parramatta. The last is coming up. It's fed back to Chris Keating. He puts a kick across towards Joel Reddy. The bat down is successful for Tola, and Lowry, I should say, and then has come back from Hayne, and with the ball is Reddy. It's a penalty to Manly.
Well, this is an interesting one. He's got him for taking the ball off him where he really hadn't declared who had it in the first place. That's an interesting one. A little kick here from Hayne. The ball comes back. There's a hassle for it. Now the referee doesn't really. Reddy's got it. The referee doesn't make a decision. Then he penalises Reddy for getting up with it.
And at the end of the day, Gus, it's a one-on-one tackle.
Yeah, I find that extraordinary.
Here's Cuthbertson playing the ball down the middle of the ground. Glenn Stewart at first receiver. It's a cross from Menzies, and Menzies is held by Chris Keating and Nathan Hindmarsh. Matthew Keating getting involved as well. Menzies then, last to rise. Ball played, it's gone to Stewart. Stewart away to Robson, who goes back, and it's Brett Stewart. Now it's Steve Matai. Matai went straight through Reddy, got the ball away. Manly wing 3/4 Robertson did very well to catch it. Watmo is over the line. Is he held up? No, he's going to point to the spot. Shane Hayne has awarded a try to Anthony Watmo. He had one turn down earlier. Forward pass from Jamie Lyon. But this time, Anthony Watmo has scored for Manly.
And in the end, again, it's very simple. From close range through some tired Parramatta defence, the lead-up play was great, but out of dummy half, Watmo just said, "Get out of my way," and bustles his way over to put the Sea Eagles back in front.
Through and through. A manly boy.
Another $1,000 for reconstruction.
Played Origin. There's the try scorer, Anthony Watmo, who picked up his New South Wales Origin jumper in 2005. And as I said, he had a try turned down earlier tonight, but that time there was just no refusing him. As Gus said, he just said, "Get out of my way, I'm going over."
He looks a lot healthier tonight, Anthony Watmo. I've watched him probably the last 5 or 6 weeks, and he has limped his way through every contest. He's had a chronic bad ankle, and he really hasn't been able to give it the full tilt. But tonight, he looks free of injury. He's racing without bandages, and he's coming onto the ball hard and fast. I like it when they race without bandages, Rabbits.
David Williams from 10 metres in.
I can't back those horses with bandages on their legs.
20 out. Don't take me there, Gus. I'm trying to give it away. You can't win on the punch, so please don't take me there, okay? Just drop off completely. Here's David Williams to convert Anthony Watmo's try, and he does it. Straight over the sweetest spot. Laurie Daly.
Thanks for having the guest out here, Manly captain Matty Orban. And Matty, you missed tonight's game. What was the problem?
Mate, I just strained my adductor in the Sharks game last week and failed a fitness test today, mate. So took the cautious option.
You must be pretty happy with the way the boys are playing at the moment.
Look, I don't want to sit on the sideline every week. It's pretty frustrating stuff. But we've had a few injuries, but they're hanging in there.
What was the main message from Desi at halftime?
Mate, just cut the mistakes out and just play percentage football. You know, just our completion rates have got to be a lot higher than what they are.
Thanks for joining us, Matty.
Sorry.
And guys, just a quick one on Jason King. He's re-injured his right ankle ligaments, and they're thinking that there could be a fracture there, so he could be out for a long period of time.
Maybe a win that comes at a high price. This game here tonight for Manly. Here's Watmo getting involved with Matai as they challenge down the left side, their left side, and then that wasn't a knock on, and it was dived on by Finch, who really had to get up and do something because he was volunteering to be tackled. Don't see it very often. Brendan Oak is slammed down by Hall.
Good shot.
Gee, that was an aggressive tackle. Here's Matt Keating getting it on for Lowry. And it's with Reddy as it's played outside the 30-metre line. Here's Wagon now going back towards Watmo and Hall. I don't know whether it's a good idea to go back towards him. He's cranky. He's fired right up. 22 metres out from the line. It's gone across to Finch and then shorter to Hauraki. Right in the middle. 20 metres out from the Manly line. Manly in front again as Finch goes to the air. Stewart's under it all. Look at Hayne right up above them. Did he head the ball back down? Hindmarsh ducks under, puts a kick in. It came off the feet of Robson, and Robson, 18 is tackled by 18 Todd Lowry.
Well, that was an extraordinary passage of play. Steve Menzies gets underneath Jarryd Hayne, just knocks him off balance. Menzies goes up, Hayne goes high above and cops it on the shoulder as it comes down. Couldn't get his hands to the ball. Of course, the defending player is allowed the mid-air tackle, where the attacking player doesn't get that luxury, but gee whiz, he flew high there, Jarryd Hayne.
So Manly taking the free, and Hall, who pulled off a couple of massive hits in the last exchanges, plays it, and Cuthbertson takes it ahead for another.
He's improved out of sight, Glenn Hall, since he came to Manly.
Ballin then choosing to go seconds for Robson and then back for Matai. And he'll play at 22 metres out from the line. He was tackled by Lowry, and he's got a penalty against him.
They're just running hard now, Manly. There's not much finesse to their game, but they've just decided we'll win this on toughness. We'll run hard. We'll find out whether or not Parramatta want this. And it's up to the Eels to respond.
So Manly attacking inside the 10-metre line with a 16-10 lead early in the second half. Ballon to the right, and it's with Josh Perry, and Perry is met by the Parramatta defensive forces. Played, and Ballon goes across the face and picks up Glenn Hall, and the referee Jarryd Shane Hayne has ruled he's held up. Keatings and Haynes and Williamses, my goodness, they're all over the place tonight, aren't they? He's ruled held up.
Yep. Glenn Hall, his heart would have been going at 1,000 mile an hour there. He doesn't get close to scoring tries very often, and he only just got held up. I think it's Jarryd Hayne who, the fullback, got himself in good position to grab the ball. We are on tackle 3, so they've still got a couple up their sleeve before a 5th tackle option, and Glenn Hall's been denied.
You're right, Gus, he's an improved player. They do improve when they come to Manly. The regime under Desi Hasler. Josh Perry, much improved player as well.
And Chad Robinson.
Now here's Glenn Stewart holding it back for his brother, and then sweet passing for David Williams to score in the corner. Oh, the Stewart brothers, they were magnificent. And David Williams goes in to score his 2nd try of the night.
Well, it's been a real David and Goliath confrontation over on that wing all night. Big Williams on Little Williams, and Little Williams is going to burrow in under Big Williams and get his 2nd underneath. The big fella gets it down. Manly go further in front.
Goliath and the Wolfman. David Williams will attempt conversion of his 2nd try of the night. It's Manly's 4th try.
The only place. Next to reconstructions.
Tremendous crowd in here at Brookvale tonight. So David Williams has scored his 2nd try. He went over at the 39th minute on the end of a great backline raid just before half-time, which featured Stephen Bell for 1 and Brett Stewart for another. And this one, it was the Stewart brothers who put Williams in the vanguard position, put him in the box seat to find the corner and score his 2nd try. So 16-10 has become 20-10 with the conversion in front of a packed hillside crowd here on the eastern side. Study in concentration. David Williams struck it, looked okay. Touch judges just wandering away a little bit, indicating that the ball has gone across the face.
This is really disappointing for Parramatta. We're coming off a video referee decision. They've got all the time in the world to read this, to get up and squash it. They basically sit on their heels and let it unfold, and they're punished for it. The intensity and the energy have just gone right out of the Parramatta team at the moment.
Well, that's been evidence in their goal line defence all year, Matty. Like a couple of tries from dummy half tonight, that one again from close range. Got to do better than that if you want to make the finals.
And you look at the injuries to Manly tonight. No Orford, no Lyon. They lose King. Boy, an opportunity for Parramatta, but they just haven't been able to get the job done.
Manly then working it away through Glenn Stewart, who brings it out 25, 27 metres from his own line. Yeah, Parramatta's defence against Manly's, although everybody's defence against Manly's reads secondary, because Manly are the #1 defensive side in the comp, as Brett Stewart goes for a run out from dummy half. Chad Robinson tried to tackle him. He's gone away, clutching at a shoulder, has Robinson. So he'd be a good player to aim some plays at now, right now. Here's Jarryd Hayne, though, on the back of Robson's kick. There's another tongue twister. Robinson, Robertson and Robson. 2 Keatings, 2 Williams.
And further evidence of the superior fitness to Manly. With all their injuries, Manly have used 5 interchanges. Parramatta, oh, Matai. Well, they're on a roll, Manly. Parramatta have used 8. So they are really under the pump.
Tortai now. That was a hell of a tackle from Matai on Nathan Kalis. They've played for the national side New Zealand together, I fancy, and there they were, New Zealander on New Zealander, one rattling the other up. Now it's taken by David Williams, back on his 20-metre line. He's come across to Brett Stewart, who's met by Todd Lowry and put down with Robinson's help and Kalis. And here goes Robertson with a sprint up the middle, 32 metres away from his own line. Tackled by Moy and Robinson. Now for David Williams. And Haynes is there with Riddell, who's back in the action. Just a few metres Manly side of halfway. Watmo's short for Cuthbertson. And Finch is there with Haynes. They put him down. Kalis goes in for a piece of the action. Lestrange is on for Manly. Then he gets it to Menzies. Lovely no-look pass to Watmo. There's more trouble for Parramatta for Hayne. And in goes Stephen Matai. Matai scores for Manly. Try number 5. Well, they're really rattling them together now.
A lovely set piece. And again, playing on the laziness around the Parramatta mid-ruck area. Dummy half Heath Lestrange instrumental in engaging a couple of lazy defenders to allow these fellas to put their play together. Lestrange gets out from dummy half, drags Finch, Menzies, no look pass back on the inside to Watmo, who bursts into the backfield. Now he saw what Jarryd Hayne did to Steve Bell in the first half, so he slows down and he stays on the outside of Hayne. That's what Bell did wrong in the first half, to able to get the ball away to an outside support. Earlier on, Jarryd Hayne made Bell go back to the inside and was able to get him. Watmo will look at him, eyes him up and stays to his outside and then gets the ball away. Perfectly timed pass to Matai. Great football.
Yeah, it was nice science, wasn't it, Gus? From Menzies and Watmo and the dummy half. Lestrange just jumped out, committed the markers. Menzies drove past, opened them up with the inside ball, and it's been a big attitude adjustment from Manly in this second half. Last week against the Sharks at Toyota Park, they attacked the Sharks with an underdog mentality. And tonight, without their centrepiece player in Orford, they came a little bit nervous. Boy, they've turned that around the second half. Super impressive.
David Williams with the attempted conversion then of a Steve Matai try. He's really tough in defence. You saw him pull off a tackle there just leading up to the try. It's probably what he's better known for. Sometimes he doesn't control the aggression, but he's a fine player. He was with Ipswich Jets before going to Wynnum Manly, and that's where Manly of Sydney found him. And he debuted here at Brookvale back in 2005.
The Wolfman looks confident, Rabs.
From the sideline, he's hooked it. Yeah, good call, Matthew. Wonderful call.
That was beautiful football there by Watmo. He saw what happened to Stephen Bell in the first half and really did a good job of getting Matai away. Did you like that, Laurie?
I certainly did, Gus. It's just a great performance by Manly. And Steve Matai really creates the intensity in this defensive line for this Manly side. But I think they're a much better side this year, given the fact that they've more focal points to attack. I thought last year it was all off Michael Monaghan. I thought they'd really miss him. But without him, I think it's just freed up and released the likes of Glenn Stewart, Lestrange and Cuthbertson and those type of blokes just to play with the football. You throw the likes of Lyon and Orford back into this Manly team, they're going to be definitely hard to stop.
Laurie mentioned Heath Lestrange there. There's another kid from the Hills District Club, the Bulls. We were talking about them earlier in relation to David Williams. So they've produced another one, who I didn't mention when I was talking about David Williams. Now it's with Glenn Stewart. He plays the ball. Haven't we got some double-ups here? Cuthbertson playing the ball now on the 40-metre line. That blonde-headed youngster is Chris Keating. As Lestrange works away from dummy half, he's very effective. And then Menzies.
Only one beaver.
There is only one beaver, you're quite right, and he's bound for Bradford. Through, I would imagine, more ambition. Just a desire that he might get another year out of those legs in England, whereas he might struggle in Australia. And why shouldn't he be able to do what he wants to do? Here's Hayne, put down just inside the 20-metre line. Tony Williams. It's an intriguing battle over there. Gus has got the little Williams on the big Williams. It's an interesting duel. I think the man from Manly might just have it at the moment, though. Well, the scoreboard says that he has. Riddell getting it off to Chris Keating and bouncing down on the 20-metre line. Parramatta were going, it seems, according again to the scoreboard, much better when they had that combination that they started with Matthew, Keating, Finch and Riddell. Things were going along swimmingly. Then they made all the changes, which I can understand that Michael Hagan had to make sooner or later, but Manly have really taken over the ascendancy now, leading out by 24 points to 10. Can Parramatta bring something to the table as Cuthbertson retires to the bench? And Steve Matai will play the ball. Just on the Parramatta side of halfway. Tackled by Chad Robinson. It's with Heath Lestrange. He almost dummied his way and stepped his way through the gap. Ballon is out there with him now. As the ball is put in the air, I fancy from Hall, and Hayne goes up. And Jarryd Hayne comes down with the football. Michael Robertson wanted to get involved, but he lost his legs. I'm not sure that it was intentional. It might have been totally accidental. As the ball is played by Joel Reddy, it's gone through Robinson, gone to Williams, who comes to Kite. Kite's got him, Perry's got him, Stewart's got him. The three of them make the tackle eventually on this giant of a winger. Robinson flicking it out before the arm touches the ground. Riddell gets it back for Kalis, and Kalis is almost to the halfway line. 14-point deficit for Parramatta. Finch showing it and then firing it out to Reddy, and Reddy is met and pulled down by a desperate piece of defence there from Robertson. He went off his wing, had to go in, and here's Chris Keating dropping it, beating Stewart though in the tackle that was coming. Now it's gone away to Inu. He drops it on his right foot, makes it look simple, and it's gone into touch in goal.
And again there, Parramatta on the last play, standing flat. The pass from Finch went behind. In the end, they got a little opportunity out on the edge, but more by luck than design. They're ruthless, this Manly side. They sense a weakness in you. They're just ruthless.
I know they've got no Orford, no King, no Line at the moment. How do you two guys see them compared with last year?
I think they're ahead. I think they're ahead of last year. I think their key players are playing better. I think they're a yard ahead of where they were last season when they were runners-up.
Here is Matai with the ball, short for Menzies, short for Robertson. Robertson and Finch. Finch, good tackle, Brett Finch. And the ball eventually finishing up with Tortai. But it's into touch through the tackle of Brett Finch. Gus, an answer to that question? Manly, how are they now compared with last year?
Just let me give Brett Finch a little rap here, who has got them home in a few games this year they didn't deserve to win. And again tonight he's competitive, but he's just playing behind the beaten forward pack. Manly have certainly got their heart set on going one better than they did last year, and they're doing everything possible. I want to see them play Melbourne before I say they're a better side, because at the moment they're probably beating up on a few weaklings, and they've got to wait till they get to the big match before I'm convinced they are a better team.
This is Inu, who's tackled on his own 40-metre line, and he's injured. Then Stewart stood over him, looked at him. Riddell said something, and then they pat each other on the back over the hunched-over body of Krishnan Inu.
We won't have to wait long either, Abs. Round 22, Manly will go around against the Storm. Now, you were with me down there in Melbourne earlier this year, where there was a grand final rematch, and the Storm blew them away. Here's the replay on the Krishnan Inu here. It's just a little bit of bad luck. The player's gone in low, and he's got a bit of a twist on the leg. But that will be a game, I'd imagine, where Des Hasler will be saying to his troops, OK, let's just find out how good we are and what we need to improve before we get to September, or at least send Melbourne a message that they're not the only team in this competition and that we're coming to get them. Now, that will be a cracker of a game.
It'll be a big game, guys. Big game for Manly. I mean, the grand final last year, that game earlier in the year, yeah, they were super dominant, Melbourne, and I think a big showing from Manly could clear some of that mental scarring if there is some.
This is Inu with the ball. He's 15 metres into Manly's area for Moi to go down inside the 30-metre line. He's held upright by Glenn Stewart and Brent Kite and Steve Menzies. Riddell waits, and now Moy plays it. It's come over to Finch, who goes behind Robinson, back to Chris Keating. And Chris Keating, he's gone through, and he's tackled with a desperate final line tackle from Brett Stewart. Riddell to Finch, quickly across for Hayne, and Hayne is taken by Brett Stewart. Well, that's a good piece of defence by the #1 for Manly.
It sure is. We give him plenty of raps of his attack, but he's had some great defensive plays too in this game, and that was a beauty. The tackle on his opposite number. It was a nice little inside play, and this is the thing about the Manly defence. They're always covering for each other. Keating splits them. Stewart makes the tackle. He gets up, and then he makes the next one on tackle 5 on Hayne.
On the downside for Manly, of course, boys, the injuries tonight. Some big ones. Line, medial ligament, you would say, possibly 3 to 6 weeks, depending how bad it is. King, that's a blow up front. So, not everything going their way.
Well, the scoreboard is 24 plays 10 and 5 tries plays 2. Manly over Parramatta. After Parramatta scored first, were very competitive, but then coming into the halftime break, they let a try in, and it's been one-way traffic since. Jarryd Hayne on the kick return. Tackled 30 metres out from his own line. Playing it for Chris Keating. This is Tony Williams running at Heath Lestrange, and he's picked up by Lestrange and the #9, Matt Ballin. He's done enough at #9 to suggest that he too is like Mark Riddell. He can be left out there as a scheming, probing, running forward. Played now by Lowry. It's come to Kalis. Kalis to Moy. Moy shunting Robson down the ground. Robson hanging on, and Ballin eventually takes the big fella's legs. Now Riddell goes to Finch. Hayne was with him, sniffing around. Then it's Robinson, but it's a forward pass called by the referee.
Parramatta have got to keep pumping away here. I know they're 14 behind on the scoreboard, but in the back of their minds, they've got to be thinking this Manly team has to get tired. They've been down on troops, down on interchange. They've been playing their hearts out, and Finch is trying to rally the troops and think if we can get 1 try, we can get 2. We saw this in a game against the Broncos not so long ago where they looked down and out, but Finch was able to lift them. They grabbed a couple, and the game went right down to the wire. Manly's got to be tired, given the workload they've had.
If they are tight, if I was Michael Hagan, I'd really consider pushing Inu, even into second receiver. Just get him involved. In the second half, he's got a cold out there. Has had enough football. Put Inu and Hayne in the middle, maybe create a bit of razzle-dazzle.
Brent Kite with the ball. Christian Inu on camera. And Kite plays it for Lestrange to pass to Ballin, and Ballin away to Hall. And they're not doing anything flash early. They're just building up something and then letting the professors of the artistic stuff, like this bloke, Brett Stewart, finish it off. And there's Matai supporting. Robertson is there, and he's tackled 15 metres out from the line.
They wanted razzle-dazzle. It's just that Manly's doing it.
Lestrange now, turning it in beautifully. Oh, have a look at that pass! That might be the pass of the year! I thought Frank Pritchard held the crown. What about Brent Stewart? Brett Stewart, no look, out the back, call it whatever you like. A Houdini pass.
No, you can't do that.
Unbelievable.
No. What's this? A little switch play, and whoopsie, straight out the back, finds the mark. Matai takes it in. There's your razzle-dazzle, baby, and it's the home side.
Well, how beautiful was that? Steve Matai gets his second try of the night, and a touch of brilliance from the former Australian fullback and the New South Wales fullback, Brett Stewart. He's shown us tonight that we underestimate his defence. Steve Matai gets a rare double, I think fair to say, career-wise, 20 tries, joining here in 2005. But Brett Stewart, the #1, has shown tonight in defence and in other departments of the game, he is just not a try-scoring freak with 81 from 101. But his support play is magnificent. His skills, well, nobody has got more skills than this young Brett Stewart from Manly.
Well, what's that, 3 try assists? Brilliant stuff. Here comes the Wolfman.
Let's have a look at him, Rabs. Let's read the body language.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I misread it before, but now he looks confident.
Okay, good.
This one's going straight over the black dot.
Thank you, Matthew. Williams, this is his first night kicking in NRL, and this is his 4th kick of the night from the sideline. And the 4th time Matthew John said he looks good, looks confident, moves in, strikes it, and again he's hooked it wide.
Let me down.
So again, Matthew is wrong.
Right, let's have a look at the best of Brett Stewart. Have a look at this. Have a look at these couple of plays. The show and go. He knows where Matai is in his mind's eye. The no-look pass. The second one's even better. Beautiful. Houdini stuff. Where is he? Bang. There it is. Just straight through the fingers.
Oh, how good is that?
Go down the park tomorrow and try that. Try running at full tilt and flick it out the back like that. And here's a kick out on the full from Parramatta.
Well done, Beaver.
Beaver.
You know what Beaver's done? He's put his big right foot on the line, said, I'll catch this on the full and we'll get a penalty back at the middle. Here he is, look, straddled across the line. He knows if he catches the ball, it's a penalty at the middle. Put the big right foot over there on purpose. And here's a good rake back into the field of play. No, it's not. It's been judged as into touch. Wow. Michael Hayne just chewing a little bit more frantically now. 28-10, but plenty of entertainment to sit back and enjoy here tonight. Even if you have come here to barrack for Parramatta, surely you must have seen some brilliant things provided by Brett Stewart in particular that will send you home thinking, hey, I've just been watching another young superstar. Brent Kite plays the ball. Lestrange gives it. Menzies on. Here's Glenn Stewart. And there's a grimace with pain there. Did he fall awkwardly? He's okay. It's Lestrange going behind 2 decoys. It's gone back to Robson. It's back to Brett Stewart. No obstruction. Matai put it down. And Lowry dives on it for Parramatta. I was about to say, the way Stewart has handled Matai, or looked after Matai, it's almost like he owes him something. And there was another chance for Steve Matai off some Brett Stewart magic. Parramatta then coming away from their own line yet again. This is Chris Keating with the ball.
It's impressive stuff, isn't it? No line, no Warford. They have come up with 6 tries and probably bombed 3 or 4.
But what's it telling us? This is Moi Moi. Is it telling us that Parramatta are out the back door, or is it telling us we're watching a super hot Manly who are much better this year than they were last year? Here's Finch putting a left foot kick under pressure in the air to Stewart, no challenge. To the 40-metre line.
I think Parramatta were out the back door weeks ago. It's just a slow, painful death at the moment. And this Manly side, who have just done it tonight on their toughness and their fitness, their desire. They've had some bad injury knocks during the day and even in this game, and they just refused to be denied.
Matai then, away from dummy half, looking to just take it down.
Ladies and gentlemen, big
short
round of applause
side through Joel Reddy, but Reddy makes the tackle. Lestrange, Kite, Hall, Robson taken down by Kalis. And Glenn Stewart goes in front of Lestrange to acting half, and Brett Stewart puts a high kick down the ground. Watmo is there, Robertson is there, and here's a penalty going to Parramatta. He's ruled him inside the 10-metre perimeter in front of the kicker.
Just watch Manly in the last 5 minutes, 6 minutes of the game. Their kick chase, their speed of the line, their defensive structure, all the tough things that don't change in the last 5 minutes of the first 5 minutes. Parramatta, on the other hand, their kick chase and their speed of the line, at the moment they're defending on their heels. But Manly, their discipline in defence and attack is just absolutely outstanding.
5.5 minutes of this game remaining, and a reminder that Sunday football comes to you from ANZ Stadium when the Rabbitohs will take on the Tigers And that's a match that, well, the Rabbitohs are still thinking they can make the 8. The Tigers can snuff all that hope out and at the same time keep themselves hopefully within reach of making the top 8. It should be an attractive game of football on Sunday. Chris Keating is with it now, or he was. He is again now. Both coaches with one change left to make. As Riddell gives it across to Foo-Foo. He will play the ball 40 metres away from the Manly line. It's gone on to Finch and long to Wagon and short for Haynes, who comes dancing into the back line. Puts a kick across and it's going over towards Menzies and also Stewart. And Stewart flicks the pass away to Menzies in goal now. And Menzies, they'll try and force him back and force him in goal, but Menzies refuses to go.
That was brilliant work by Stephen Menzies, because Brett Stewart had his back to the oncoming chasers and Bieber screamed at him to throw the ball. Don't try and get out yourself. He's got his back to them. He's got nowhere to go. And Bieber screams and he just lets it go straight away. And Bieber gets it back into the field of play. Working for each other.
Steve Bell. Just outside the 20-metre line. Manly on the final home straightaway. 28-10. Jamie Lyon, an early match departure for him with what we think might be a medial ligament, and that's gone out on the full, and it will come back way down the ground towards the Manly 30-metre line. Norman's still going good in that British Open, we're told.
Oh yeah, the Shark.
It's amazing what Chris Evert-Lloyd can do, and a honeymoon.
She's a good woman.
Here they are, Parramatta down the right side to the 20-metre line. And from Finch it's gone across now for Chad Robinson. Glenn Hall tried to get that shoulder on him again. He got the ball away. Daniel Wagon, quick hands from Hayne. Hayne gets it away to Kalis, who bumps away a would-be tackle. It goes out. It came off the hand of Williams, and he's nullified the tackle count, so he should have. Inu was with the ball, and Inu was tackled inside the touchline on the eastern side.
If Shark wins Wimbledon, I'll give Chris Evert the credit.
Very kind of you. There's Chris Keating. I don't think Greg Norman cares who you give the credit to tell you the truth when it comes to golf. Here's Riddell.
Two former world number ones.
Gus Gould and Greg Norman.
The pillow talk will be interesting.
Yes, exactly right. It's come across now from Finch, and it's gone long and wide out to Wagon. Wagon goes away from Reddy, goes out wider, picks up to Tortai, and Tortai is with the ball.
Look at this Manly defence. They're 18 in front, 5 left on the clock. They're still swarming.
So Finch drifting, then punching it wide for Chris Keating. Got a slap over the face for his corner. Hayne let it go, thank God. And 9 metres out from the Manly line there for Riddell to give it to Finch, and he wasn't tackled. He just slipped over and fell at the hands of Adam Cuthbertson. Ball played, and Riddell fires it back to Chris Keating. Over it goes to Daniel Wagon. Run around for Chris Keating. Cut out ball from Keating. Reddy is with it. Here's Matai coming across. Conventional tackle. Good tackle. And clamped eventually. Secured by Brett Stewart. Tortai passes. Chris Keating kicks over towards Menzies. Here's the aerial. Battered down by Manly. Parramatta's got it. No knock on that I saw yet. A cross kick then from Hindmarsh. Fielded by Inu. Holds it back. Gets it away to the big fella. Here he comes again, the jumbo. And he's tackled just short, and that's the turnover.
And again, what about the defence? Twice over in this corner from Matai. And on that one there where there's a little bit of a fumble and the ball comes out the back, they just swarm across again. Here comes Goliath, but they're all there, and they hold him out.
You're right, you know. I mean, it's a time when a lot of teams could clock off.
That's what they're good at. That's the way they're coached and trained. They've been building to this till to the premiership for 5 years under Des Hasler. If you could put what Manly's got in the Parramatta side, with Parramatta's individual talent and flair, then again you've got a premiership contender. But without it, without that steel and that resolve and that desire, you're not in the race.
Well, the message has gone out there. I would think, I might be wrong in guessing, that the message has gone out, okay, we've got the match won, we're in front by 18, but it's tackle time, it's time to practice online defence, it's time to practice urgency in defence.
Well, Rabs, Desi Hasler as a player was a fitness fanatic. Yeah, nose turner, he'll see Hayne Haven't seen enough of this. Big run down the middle, but he was unbelievable, Des. In his spare time, he'd run 400s and do plyometrics and sprints. He just never stopped. And he's passed it on to these players. People like Josh Perry, who was overweight at Newcastle, has come here, is playing exceptional football. Explosive, but so much more endurance into his game.
So Parramatta a chance at the end of this passing raid to go down as low as number 13 on the competition ladder. A pat on the head for Brett Stewart from David Williams. I think he understands exactly how good this performance from the number 1 has been tonight. Try assists, 3 or 4 of them. Defence incredible. And then some sleight of hand that really was more befitting of a Houdini than it is of Brett Stewart.